Hi there. This is Greg Hessel from ReGeneration Resources. And some of you may have seen the vlog that I did last week where I talked about a model of organizations developed by Barry Oshry, who talks about the regularity with which those at the top of organizations and those at the bottom go to war with each other. And last week, I talked about the role of those at the top and how their world is one of incredible stress and complexity. There's never enough time to do the work, and how senior executives often respond to that stress by hunkering down, working harder, isolating themselves, and really just trying to get the work done. And how that coping mechanism often leads to the perception that senior executives are out of touch, that they don't do real work, and that all they care about is money. And Oshry talks about an alternative response for people at the top of pushing work and responsibility down throughout the organization, so that instead of assuming responsibility for everything themselves, they create a culture where everybody in the organization feels responsible for the whole. And today I want to talk just a little bit about the role that frontline workers, who Oshry calls bottoms, play in this dynamic. And bottoms can feel like a demeaning term, but frontline workers often feel like bottoms. The stress that people at the bottom of organizations feel is they feel incredible vulnerability. People are constantly making decisions that impact them without asking their input or their permission. And so they feel like they have no agency. They feel like they're being acted upon all the time. And frequently, people at the front line of organizations respond to that vulnerability and lack of agency by complaining. They blame, they complain, they make others responsible because they don't know what else to do. They feel stuck. And that reinforces the belief that tops have of frontline workers that all they ever do is complain. So people at the top see frontline workers as complainers, and people at the bottom see tops as people who don't do real work and all they ever care about is money. And so through the hierarchy, there's a huge disconnect, and it leads to warfare. And Oshry talks about the alternative response for frontline workers, for bottoms, is asking forgiveness rather than permission. Not blaming others and handing over responsibility, but doing everything you can to assume responsibility for improving the organization, whether or not you have the blessing of leaders. If people at the top and the bottom of organizations can lean into these alternative responses, this internal warfare can be avoided. I hope you found this interesting. I'll talk to you real soon.